Hi, I'm Carrie, and I am back with the energy reading for week 3 for this month of October. I am continuing on with the same decks from last week, doing a same layered type reading. So let me get these shuffled up, and I will be back with the first portion of this reading. So, the primary energy for this week is fire cider. Dwell in the medicine that exists to protect the spirit. What I find with this card is this is about how prepared are you for what you want. A lot of times we ask for stuff, but how prepared are we to accept some of those things into our life? Because in order to do that, like week 1, we had to let go of stuff to make room. And were we prepared to shed things away? And then last week, we were asked to look at all the things that we're weaving together in our life, to slow down and look at all the things that we had our hands in, and how each thing was affecting the other, and was it a harmonious composition, or was it creating discord and upset in our life? So fire cider is asking you to confront yourself and ask yourself how prepared you are to move towards what it is that you truly want this week. If you've been trying to make some changes, if you've been trying to better your life in some way or bring things to fruition in some way, whatever the scenario is for you specifically, what are you actually doing to obtain or move into, I should say, that energy? The artist is, I think, bringing forward an energy saying there's a different way to go about this. You need to be more creative. The things that you're wanting, the things that you are looking to enhance your life, the things that you are wanting to this week to make your life a little easier or make things a little better for yourself. There's a different way to go about it. The thing that comes to mind is just throwing some twigs and rocks in a jar and shaking it up does not a spell make. That's what keeps coming to my head every time I'm looking at these cards. There needs to be some serious clarity because the artist is bringing forward the lantern, the light. Think about the hermit in the tarot and the lantern that he carries up the mountain. That is illuminating his path. That is bringing some sort of clarity to his space. And I think that's what's needed this week. If there is something that you're trying to go after, if there's something that you are pursuing, you have got to start being honest with yourself about how much you want it. And it's more than just wishing. And I know last week we had that wish on a star omen, and maybe that was to get you into the mindset of preparing yourself for what it is that you want to bring forward. It's fine to wish now and then, but what's the action? What's the plan? What's the motive, the intention behind it? And I feel like that's really where this energy sits, is you've got to get some clarity. You have got to be honest with yourself about what it is that you're trying to change, what it is that you're trying to bring forward into your week or into your life. What do you want to occur this week to make your week go smoother, go easier? There's a different way to go forward with this. Think about that when you're bringing forward this artist energy. Be creative, do something out of the box, out of the norm. Let's see what the tarot has to say. The very first thing I get looking at these cards is this is too hard. I've got the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles, where The Four of Pentacles doesn't want to do anything different. They like staying secure. They like staying safe. They like staying in, doing and staying in the same routine that they have because that's what's comfortable to them. And that's where they know their security is, which makes it hard and just takes you longer to trudge uphill than it would if you would loosen up a little bit and get creative. The Queen of Cups is begging you to lean into your intuition this week. What is your gut telling you to do? I know you're used to doing things one way and one way only, but is she pushing you in a different direction? Is she saying, let's change this up a little bit? There's something better here for us if we just do things a little bit differently. I also feel with the 10 of Wands being right below the fire cider is you're making this way harder this week than it needs to be. And with the Four of Pentacles below the light, just because you're refusing to look at the lantern doesn't mean that the lantern still isn't shining there with an answer, because you got this poor little kitty looking at this open window saying, look, we can escape, we can get out of here. So it is seeing the light from the lantern. It knows that there's a different way to go about this. It's leaning into that creative side. We don't have to go through the door, we can just go through this window over here. But he's stuck. And that's kind of what I feel this is. As much as you're wanting something to be easier, as much as you're wanting something different, you're maybe not quite in that energy of changing your ways, of letting things go, of making things easier for yourself. Okay, let's see what the omen says. Well, I'm not taking all of those, so let's try this again. Face up penny, financial prosperity. So if we don't just look at this in financial terms, what if this is a saying to you, because it has the words face up on it. So I've got a lantern over here that brings clarity. I have an omen that's showing me a face up. So maybe this is about looking to the light, looking for that clarity. Something that's striking me right now is this Queen of Pentacles is looking away from the 10 and the 4 because she knows that she doesn't have to go through this. She knows that she doesn't have to struggle. She knows that there's something else better, that she doesn't have to keep holding on to what she thinks is keeping her secure so tightly. She knows that there's a different way. She knows that there's something better, and she's trying to prepare for it, but something in the back of her mind, or the old ways that she's just used to doing things, is kind of keeping her stuck in that routine, because this routine feels more secure and not as scary for you. But I would say definitely lean into that artist energy this week. Try some creative paths, do something out of the norm, and look at the other possibilities that are presenting themselves to you to lighten your load. Look at the other possibilities that are opening windows for you instead of doors. But you're so focused on waiting for that door to open that you're missing the window. I think that's what needs focused on. And there could be a chance for some lucky financial prosperity on the side too. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you watching. And let me know in the comments below, did this resonate for you in some way? Are you feeling this energy in your life in some fashion? Share with me below. I would love to hear. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can get the ball rolling with this channel. And if you want to support me in a different way, my Ko-fi link is in every description box. And until I see you next week, bye.